Hello, welcome back. One more time, we are here trying to share with you different tools and knowledge from different of my teachers and from people that have been um, my masters, my teachers, in a great part of this transformation. So today I have the honor to have here with us Miss Jean. She is a has a bachelor's in chemistry. She has a PhD in molecular biophysics, and she was a college professor. When she retired, she became across a transformation and became an energy healer practicing pranic healing. So today I'm honored to introduce you guys to Miss Jean, one of my teachers. Miss Jean, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, Carla, thank you so much for inviting me to join you tonight. I'm very excited to be here to share and learn and just be with you and spread the word about how we can be healthy in many different ways, right?
Awesome. That is amazing. And when I think of you, like a scientist, a person that comes in from a complete credible background in transitioning to something that, in a sense, is still a little mystical for people. I'm honored to have you here, and if you can share a little bit for a little bit of your journey, how that transformation came, and how you end up in India for a while, and all of the different studies that you came across, and how was your journey into becoming a pranic healer and an incredible energy healer and teacher.
Oh, thank you for those kind words. Well, every story has a beginning. So here we go.
There we go.
So, um, yes, can you imagine a chemistry teacher becoming an energy healer? It's an incredible transformation, but it's not uncommon at all. So, let me just share a little bit about my personal story.
Awesome.
So, let's see where to begin. So, I was raised in a family where spirituality was not even in the vocabulary. Forget about it, right? Um, And I was raised as a Christian, but dabbled in other kinds of religions. And I really, as a young adult, I became very interested in learning about the truth. And when we search for the truth, there are many versions of the truth. And in the beginning, when I first started looking for the truth, I did it through math because I
Interesting.
knew that 1 + 1 = 2. This is non negotiable. Okay.
Very logical.
Very logical,
Scientifical.
very scientific. And my brain was wired that way. And I fell in love with the scientific method, with experimentation, with theories and hypotheses, and proving things and research. And how does the world work? And what's inside an atom, and how do atoms come together to make molecules, and what happens when you tickle them with light, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I became totally enamored with science and absolutely fell in love with it, which is why I chose to pursue the route of chemistry and then eventually into molecular biophysics, because I wanted to apply what I was learning in chemistry to the biological world in that beautiful overlap area of biophysics. And I wanted to have a really good job, and I wanted to be a contributor to society as a scientist. So I did that and worked for several years after, or not several years, 25 years after I finished that process. And then maybe 10 years ago, no, even longer than that, something seemed off. I knew something was missing. I had gone through all this hard work to earn this degree, to get this job, to do the research I was doing and publishing papers. And I loved what I was doing, but something was missing. So I started learning, looking for sources to try and figure out what was missing in my life. And I couldn't find it. And the harder I looked, the hungrier I became for information. So I just kind of put that on the back burner. I thought, okay, this will come to me eventually. What am I missing? And then when I switched from college education and research into a high school environment, which was a real gift, it forced me into a situation where I found out what stress was really all about. I became very aware of stresses in my body and realized what it was doing to me. And I
Mm.
started realizing, I don't know if I can keep doing this. I was starting to feel burnout. These are things that everybody experiences, right? I loved what I did, but I wanted to be a better teacher. I wanted to be a kinder teacher. I wanted to be a kinder mother and wife, a kinder and more productive citizen of
Beautiful.
the world. And I really didn't know how to go about it. So I started doing yoga classes a lot. This was like 10 years ago. And after several years of doing a lot of yoga, different types of hatha and asana yoga, something happened to me where I experienced something that was totally like, what the heck? Right? I had no idea what had happened. And I something was triggered in me at that moment. And I started searching and I asked a lot of questions of a lot of people. What does this mean? Why did I feel this way? Why did I see this? And I couldn't get an answer. And because I was a truth driven person and enjoy research, I wanted to understand. It was very important to me that I understand, right? So I started reading a lot of books. I like to say that I was throwing spaghetti at the wall, trying to find something that would stick, that would answer the question of why did I have this experience in yoga class and what did it mean? I knew it was something really magical. So I
So at
kept
that moment, you had no idea that you had find oneness in that moment. It just happened organically, but you didn't know what was going on with you.
out of the blue. Totally. It was
Uh-huh.
like, bam. So
Right.
it was, yeah, quite a shock, but it was pleasant, but it wasn't scary. It was like, wow, wake up, Gene. So I started the search and I searched for a year or more, reading a lot of books, trying to teach myself about energy, energy healing, how it connects to quantum physics, which I very interested in. I'm always looking at the connection to the physical world, to atomic structure, and to physics, right? And I found that there's a magical connection which I'm just now beginning to understand between spirituality, energy healing, energy, and physics. At any rate,
Mhm.
so then I someone mentioned to me, she said, "Have you tried chronic healing?" And I'd never heard of it in my life. And I said, no, but I want to learn whatever I can from everyone that I meet. I was like a sponge soaking up
Uh-huh.
information, right? So I went to a meeting and met some people who were doing it, and they did a healing on me. And without touching my body, it was so quick, took about 5 minutes. And suddenly, this huge shift started to happen. I just felt like this tremendous amount of peace. And I thought, well, this is weird. What
Hmm.
happened?
What's
um,
going on here?
what's
Yeah.
going on here? So I was intrigued, and now I wanted to know even more. So the more I learned, the more I wanted to learn. So I began learning how to do pranic healing. I began doing the meditation that is foundational to pranic healing, which changes us. And I can tell you more about that when it's time to talk about that. But the interesting thing, Carla, was to observe myself. It's as if I had my own internal laboratory and I was researching myself, watching how did my responses to stressful situations change? How did my interactions with other people change? And
Mhm.
that is when I went, wow, there's something going on. I found after a few months of doing the meditation that suddenly my students were calmer.
Oh, wow.
Suddenly my family was happier. Suddenly the guidance counselors in the school would call me and say, Jean, we have a parent meeting this afternoon for Susie, the student, and you don't know Susie and you don't know the parents, but we want you to come and just sit in the room.
Huh.
And I went, you what?
For
And that's
what?
exactly what, yeah, I thought, why? And they said, because Jean, when you just come and you just sit there, it changes the energy of the room.
Hmm.
And I thought, wow, I did
Something is
see
going
that.
on here. Uh-huh.
Something's going on that I had no idea. No idea. And then that those feelings of dread that I used to have about going to a stressful job. I mean, teaching is wonderful. I love high school. I honor education, but it's stressful. And after the end of the school year, it gets a little bit stressful. Um, and suddenly I thought, you know what? I really love what I'm doing. I don't want to retire. I want to keep doing this. And I found myself feeling so much joy towards my students and toward patience for them, understanding. And it was a ripple effect. It tended to,
And their lives were transforming too, right?
and
You,
they were changing.
yeah,
Now, they only saw me maybe 4 hours a week, but I could tell that things were changing. And that was the validation that I needed, right?
to keep on
It's
going.
to
Yeah,
keep on going. Exactly. And then it was really interesting to monitor I was always observing, like I'm a researcher, researching
hmm,
how energy affected me before I could learn to do it with other people. I had to learn how I worked, right?
yeah.
And so, for example, one day someone hit my car, was parked in the front of the house. And my family said, Mom, somebody hit your car. And I thought, okay, that's, totally uncharacteristic. My family couldn't understand why I wasn't
How come you're not
upset.
upset about it?
I know. Why aren't you arguing with me, Mom? Whatever
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
So the list is pretty long of things that started to shift. It was very subtle and very gentle and very gradual. But that's when I went, this is something.
And that was, let's say, what? How long into that you were doing the regular meditation, the daily meditations? Weeks, months?
So I would say I started to feel a difference and to feel an inner calm that I hadn't ever experienced before. Maybe after maybe a month, maybe a
Ah,
couple of
beautiful.
months. Everybody's different. And since that time, I have learned so much. I have taken every class multiple times in the whole collection of classes that are available for people who want to learn how to do this. I've
Uh-huh.
become a certified healer, which I'm happy to talk about that. And I'm a certified now teacher for pranic healing. And I host meditation sessions on a regular basis. So now my greatest joy is to be able to share this with other people so that they can see if it fits for them. It's not for everybody, but for the
That's
people that are
beautiful.
drawn to it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful that you're saying that because um, for me, it's something that it really touched me deeply, right? It became, um, I'd say, almost part of my daily life because I used to sit in meditation for the longest time, but I didn't have a strategy. I didn't have a shortcut to how the blessings, how that connection would come through me and and have results that it was not ego centered, right? I was always trying to meditate to say, okay, I'm going to calm down my mind. I'm going to come down my emotions. I'm going to start connected with my breathing. I mean, different things. And it would within with the qigong, like connecting the movements of the body with the inhale and exhale. But stillness it is absolutely transformative. And getting to that stillness and getting into being just a channel of blessings to others rather than worry about what is going on here in my head and in my emotions, and try to calm down both of it until I can get into meditation, was amazing. Can you share a little bit about that with us?
Let me see if I understand that. So, um, the
So
talking
in the
about the inner.
meditation, yes, I'm talking about like when we do the twin heart meditations, or when we are just guiding the blessings towards others instead of guiding towards us. For me, it was easier in a more effective way to meditate, where I can get into meditation faster, when I can get into a state of meditation that is more, per se, effective than without the techniques and without pranic healing. It would take me much longer. Are you
Mm,
following me?
yeah. So I had tried meditation, various kinds of meditation for years, even in my 20s. Um, and actually, before I started chronic healing, I became a mindfulness teacher for the high school kids. And mindfulness is wonderful. However, it's the beginning. So the meditation that is foundational to pranic healing, and you mentioned it, is called Twin Hearts.
Yes.
And the magic of that meditation is that it actually changes the energy in your body. And those changes can last for days. It's
Yeah.
not permanent, but it can last for days. And it's based on what's the word I want? Basically, the coordination or the interplay between two of the major energy centers in the system. Now, parenthetically, as a scientist, I have to understand everything that happens in everything I do. And so the science, the engineering behind what we do in this meditation is 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 very, very important. It is based on engineering. And the meditation and all the pranic healing was developed by an engineer. So I think about it as energy healing and energy work for the left brain type of person like myself.
Awesome.
So the engineering behind that that allows us to feel stillness is that we open up our heart center, which we have a front and a back heart. One of the chakras in the system. I'm sure everybody's heard of a chakra. And this is where we experience love for people in our lives,
Yeah.
pets, animals, things, and so forth. When that heart is open and we are guided to do that, we are given things to visualize so that that will open and we feel that organically. There's nothing that's imposed on anybody. It happens naturally because the body is wired that way.
Yes.
Then there's a second heart, which is above the head in the crown. This is a very high vibrational type of love where we can experience love for people that we don't know and even for people that we don't like. And when these two hearts are communicating, it opens up a humongous channel of energy that goes up to the divine and pulls in a very high frequency kind of energy that is available to everybody. But
Yes.
most of us are not aware of it. And
Don't
I
know how
think,
to tap into it,
yeah, don't know
how
how to
to
tap
access.
in.
Yeah.
Yes, how to access that energy. So, and that was the key. Once I learned how to access that source of incredible calm, then I knew I could open that tap on the door and open it and get some, so to speak, whenever I need it.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
And it
So
didn't have to take hours, you
it
know?
doesn't have to
It's a
take hours.
form. Yeah.
And it actually, after some practice, I can do it instantly. So I can
Awesome.
just do it
Yes.
now. And that happens to everybody. If they, it's like a muscle that we all have. And when we exercise that muscle, then it's stronger and we can use it. So we all have it. We just have to learn how to work it, right? And do
Awesome.
it in a process so that it's safe and effective.
Yes.
Um, so, and then you talk about the healing ourselves that, and one thing that we use that meditation for is to heal our bodies, heal our emotions, to find answers to questions that are bothering us. There is an infinite number of options for how to use the power of that energy for what each of us needs. It's very personal and it's very private. So when we're doing that meditation, and it doesn't take long, and again, with practice, it can be almost instantaneous. If there's a question for me, I can only speak for myself. If I have a question I need an answer to, a dilemma that I need to resolve, maybe some pain in my body that needs to be healed, what have you, maybe a worry that won't go away when energy follows intention, and when the energy is coming down during the meditation, if my intention is, please remove this worry, please remove this pain, please give me the answer to this
Yes.
question, when we listen, we will get the answer. It may not come immediately, it will come in some form or fashion. It's different for everybody. So, and in the beginning, I thought, oh, I'm going to hear a voice that says, oh, Gene MacInnis, you're supposed to do that. No, no, it doesn't work that way. So it's very subtle, and the gifts are so gentle and so right for each and every one of us. And all the people I've taught this to over the years, everybody has a different experience, and it's really, really powerful.
So if for some people it would take, like more understanding than others, and some would be more, let's say, more open or more sensitive to just receive with all of this. Do you think that there is anything that it would help us to understand this better? Anything that it would, um, I wouldn't say maybe a shortcut, but you have a logical mind, and some people may go in with less of a logical mind. You think that the understanding helps that tool to be more effective, or
Yes,
just
yes,
trusting the
yes.
understanding?
The,
Yes.
the trust was not easy for me. In the
Uh-huh.
beginning, I had to understand exactly what I was doing because I was really felt like I was still a scientist. I still am. So when we follow the procedure, again, it's a process. Like if you're going to make a peanut butter sandwich, you take out
Hmm.
the bread, you spread it, you know what I mean? There's steps that
Yeah.
we take to make the sandwich. There are steps that we take in order for the meditation to work. Step one is to calm down the nervous system so we can slow down the hamster cage in our brain, right?
Yeah.
Where we're the in monkey mind. So we
See.
start with some simple breathing to calm down the nervous system, which is well known. We start with that. We even have some forgiveness work, and I hope I have a chance to talk about forgiveness and gratitude while we have time.
Yes, absolutely. Please
That's
go ahead.
that's built into it, and all these these very subtle components of it is a guided meditation. We listen to the power of the words that go with the meditation. It's based on the prayer of Saint Francis of Assisi, where we are blessing Mother Earth. I need to talk about that. That's really key, I think, here.
Okay.
So the way that this works, this is the logic behind it. We do the meditation because we want to help other people. We also want healing for ourselves. True, not true. Yeah.
Yes. So
Okay.
it's a win-win situation. As
It's a
we are healing
win-win
others, we
situation.
are being healed.
Correct. So, and this is it's really world service when we were doing this. So this is, I'll just run through the engineering component of it.
Okay.
So we start with be opening up our heart chakra, and we do that by tapping the heart very gently, just once or twice,
Amazing.
just once or twice. Okay, very gentle. That opens up the heart chakra. And then we tap our head once or twice. And then we
Okay.
listen to the beginning of the meditation where we are asked to visualize something that we love. That opens up the heart. Then we're
It could be a
asked,
child, could be a flower, anything that it brings joy to us.
correct, it could be your favorite
Okay.
milkshake, anything, right?
Awesome.
And then we take that feeling of love and we actually allow it or picture it bubbling up to above the head. And we
Okay.
re experience something that each of us has our own private happy place. All right. So that puts each of us in our own independent, private, personal happy place. At that
Uh-huh.
point, the energy starts to come down. Now, this energy is always present, as I said a few minutes ago. For most people, the energy that comes down is kind of is small, okay? But we want to get more of it, just the right amount for what we need. So what we do is we then we start to bless Mother Earth and we start
Okay.
sharing love for Mother Earth and all of humanity.
So
That's
it
the first
comes
step.
through us.
It comes
Okay.
through us. So we're not worrying about us. Like when I'm doing it, it's not like
Going
she
towards
needs something.
earth. Mm-hmm.
I'm blessing other people because when we give to other people first, then it's a spiritual law. Then we will
Mm-hmm.
get. So by blessing Mother Earth initially, it begins a flow of energy that comes down in greater and
From the
greater
divine
quantity.
through us and is going to creating
Exactly.
that flow.
You get the flow and you
Yeah.
start to feel it. Some people feel it in their hands. Different people have different responses. And once that process has started, then the energy flows even more. And then
Mm-hmm.
there's a time of silence after we have gotten the circuit started, the flow, where we listen to some chanting that's built into the meditation where we can now use or harness that energy for our own healing. So we're healing Mother Earth and people that we love, but we're also receiving the blessings. So it's a
Amazing.
win, like you said, it's
Yes.
a win win.
Yes. And raising the earth vibration in general, because we are letting go our own pain to heal others. And then when we realize that us, the ego got out of the way because it's just flowing, flowing, and you're receiving the healing in kind of like as a side effect, that is a beautiful side effect that it's healing us and harmonizing the body. One thing that it always fascinates me is that when we are in harmony, when our body is in homeostasis, all the cells, they start regenerated in the perfect conditions in the original DNA. So when we are doing this meditation or when we are practicing meditations in that way, we are in a sense healing the body in the energetic level, in the mitochondria level. Obviously, there are cells that takes years to regenerate. There are some that are going to be in seconds. But the longer that you stay in homeostasis, longer that we are healing ourselves, we're stabilize the energy in our body, automatically the ones around us, and consequently, it's just getting into amplify over and over. So when we're doing the meditation together in a group, whether there's 3 or 10 of us, it potentializes that flow of energy, and it's beautiful. It's an experience that, I mean, I would love for everyone to experience at least, once in a lifetime, to see this is for me or not. I think it is, in every household we should have a healer. We should have someone that understands the potential of, stabilize the energy in the body, or the stabilize the energy in the ambience in order to promote healing.
Mhm.
So with that said, you do meditations, around the city. We have some groups and places that normally people meet for the twin heart meditations or for pranic healing meditations. Where are some of those locations that we have around Central Florida, and the
Uh,
dates that you have?
yes, well, there's many people offering this all over the world. In Central Florida, if that's where most of your audience is, there are two in-person meditations each week and two virtual meditations each week. There's all no, I'm that's not right. There's also one in New Smyrna Beach. There's one in Ormond Beach. Um, then in the Central Florida area, in Tampa, there are many meditations there. In Boca Raton, Miami area, lots of meditations down there, also in Pensacola. So we have several centers for pranic healing in the state of Florida. So we
And
have a group here in Orlando. Then we have one in Boca Raton in Miami. We have one in Pensacola. We have one in Tampa and one in New Smyrna Beach. So
when
all of
is your
them.
group is meeting online, with the groups that you are leading? When are you
Yes.
meeting online?
Oh, yes. So my group meets on Monday nights at 7:30. And then a colleague of mine has one on Thursday nights at 7:30. And then I have a Tuesday mornings at 11:30 in Orlando at Spiral Circle. And then a
Okay.
friend of mine is hosting one in downtown Orlando as well on Fridays. So all of these can be found on Meetup if anybody wants to just go on to the Meetup app and search for Chronic Healing Central Florida. And
Okay.
all of these events are listed there. All of these events are
The
listed.
online and the in-person events, both of them.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I wonder if we could talk a little bit about, or if I could share, and you can help me out here, adding what you know about it, of how this is actually going to heal the body. Can we
Awesome.
talk about the
Yes. Of
mechanics of
course.
that? So
Absolutely.
this is back to the scientist in me. Okay, it's great to
Yes.
feel
Let's bring it.
great.
It's yes.
Um, so, but let me explain a little bit about it. So the we know through research, and it's been known for eons that the body can heal itself. If you cut your
Yes.
finger, it's going to heal all by itself. Just keep it clean, put a band-aid on it, and it will heal, right? So the
Yes.
body knows how to heal itself,
Regeneration.
to
Hmm.
regenerate, correct. Now, when we want to feed our bodies, our physical bodies, we eat healthy food and exercise and do all the things that we're all trying to do to keep our physical bodies healthy. But there's another component of our bodies which is not visible to the naked eye. It's visible only to people that have that special kind of vision, which I don't have yet. That is very subtle, that we can feel it. Some people can see it or smell it or taste it, but we learn to feel it in chronic healing. That energy is what feeds all the cells, all the mitochondria, all the DNA of the body as well. So it's not just nutrients, it's also this energetic part. So the two go
Awesome.
together, right? So if we're
So
eating health,
importance of the value of both, the keeping the body healthy and also the environmental health. So one complements the other.
correct. So, like we take a shower every day to keep our bodies clean, right? We eat
Yes.
healthy food. But if we want to be complete in our health, we want to also clean our energy bodies. And so we
Awesome.
learn how to clean that energy body, which is not by taking a shower. We take a shower every day, but there's more that we can do to keep the whole system, in homeostasis, in sync, in health, in, in optimum health, where all the energy centers of the body are balanced, they're open and healthy. Because when we get stressed, you know what happens to those energy centers, of which we have
Get
11?
off tune. Yeah.
They get all out of tune. And then we feel really wonky. We may develop physical illness. We may have problems with insomnia, there's countless numbers of things
Different
that,
emotions attacked physically,
yes.
mentally, emotionally. Yes. And we don't,
Exactly.
sometimes we are so overwhelmed, we don't even know what we're feeling, what we're thinking. It's just like, what is going on?
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. So the key to this whole thing, it's really simple. It's simply keeping our energy body healthy. So people say, well, how do I do that? Well, they're meant the simplest way to start out with is to learn how to do the meditation. And to a point that you made, actually the power of the meditation is exponential. So when we have
Yes.
one person doing it, that's fine. But if you double the number of people, maybe have up to 8, 10, 12, 20, 2,000 people doing it, the
Exponentialize.
energy
Mm.
is huge. One of the chronic healing masters does this with a stadium of 15,000 people.
Yes.
So this is very, very powerful.
Yeah.
And the way that this
Yeah.
can change the earth and the planet actually
The
is
vibration
remarkable.
of the earth is remarkable. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let me just talk. So when we do the meditation, it will clean our systems out from the inside out. It removes the dirty energy and replaces it with clean. It happens automatically whether you want it to or not. And when the energy
Hmm.
centers are clean and they're balanced, then the cells are getting the energy they need. The circulation is improved. Many, many aspects of the body are improved, and we can feel really good. But this is something I wanted to share. This is something that I'd heard for years, especially going to yoga studios. And people would say, be the change that you want to see in the world. We've all
Hmm.
heard that, right?
Yes.
So, as a yoga student back in the day, I would see that and go, okay, really? How am I going to do that? The answer wasn't clear. But now I think I understand it certainly more than I did before. So, this is the way I think about it, if I can just share. When I look around the world and we see so much going on, right? Turning
Hmm.
off the TV, there's
Yes.
a lot going
Everywhere.
on. Yes. And so I can only speak for myself. So I'm thinking, really, do people have to act this way? Does there have to be so much conflict? I see suffering. I see so many things that are so
Is that really
uncomfortable.
necessary? Yeah.
Oh, is it really necessary? And I think,
Yeah.
wow, if I could just change that. But you know what? We cannot change that. The only thing we can't change the circumstances. I can't change the fact that that person hit my car. I can't change the fact that my student is upset with me or whatever, something, something, something. All I can
Yeah.
change is my response to it. We are
Yes.
responsible for our own energy, and I can change that. So if I look around the world and I'm seeing this stuff happening and I'm thinking, oh, well, I have an option. I can be hopeless. I can be really mad. And I choose not to do that because if I do that, it's going to make my energy system wonky. And why does that matter? Because if my energy system gets wonky, then any negative energy in me will actually go out to other people. It's
Yes.
infectious. So here's what I
Yes.
do.
Yes.
I find we use some very simple techniques that are found in pranic healing and other modalities as well to to stop the repetitive negative thinking, to remove the negative emotions um, in a very simple way, so that what we're filling ourselves up with is good energy, happiness, loving kindness, harmlessness. These are all words that are super important, but there are energies for that because everything has energy. Everything is
So
energy.
can you share that with us? How do you do it? Are you able to share?
Um, yeah, well, I mean, when we do some healing techniques, which I cannot share, to remove those negative thoughts, but
Okay.
also when we do the meditation, it will automatically remove some of those negative thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay. Other things we can do are to just a lot of different things that we can do when we clean our energy system. then our auras, our energy fields are clean, and we can actually fill our energy system with positive emotions. It happens automatically. It's natural to us to pick up on what you said. If we get out of our own way and stop, get out of our own way and
Some
allow,
obsessive thoughts or
yes,
emotions or some unexplainable things that we don't know how we're feeling, if we're thinking too much or if we are feeling too much, we
right, it can
calm
stop
that
that.
down, we stop that.
So, and it actually will affect people around us because they have an energy system. They have a cloud of energy around them. We have an energy field, and when the energy fields are close to each other, if I've got negative emotions in my body, in my aura, it's going to affect the other people.
It's going to tune to their bad energy, to their bad vibration, and that start amplifying, just like
Right.
the light, just like when we are in a good vibration, in a harmonious vibration, when we come across other people in the same vibration, that harmony vibration, that peaceful, loving vibration also is, mirror each other and, tune into the same vibration.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. So that's why
I
the
follow you.
teachers,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's why the guidance counselors, when I was teaching, would say, come and sit in the room because my
Hmm.
aura was full of good stuff. I didn't realize it, but it was affecting everybody else in the room, right? Um,
Amazing. That's beautiful.
so it just happens naturally. So if we want to see harmony amongst other people, we want to see peace in the world, we want to see people helping each other, then we make those changes in ourselves.
It
We are
starts with
kind
us.
to other people. It starts with us. We show kindness, we show generosity, we do the meditation to keep clean energies in our systems, which is unconscious, but it does manifest and actually change other people, and it becomes sustainable over time. So it does affect other people.
That's beautiful. Beautiful. And this transformation keeps on transforming every day. It's not like every day there's room for improvement. Every day there's room for expansion because we're tapping into an infinite source.
Yes, yes,
So
th-
there's always
yes.
more.
Always more. There are higher levels of meditation that we learn, but that's only for specialized classes that anyone can learn how to do with appropriate teaching. So this is where I want to speak about the teaching.
Yes,
There's a
please.
lot of people, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube and TikTok that I don't know what people are doing, but I would strongly caution people, if you want to learn how to do energy healing, whether it's Reiki or pranic healing or whatever the modality is, find a good teacher. My teacher, the person who developed this technique, was an engineer, born in China, raised in the Philippines. Everything that we do in my modality is safe. So you need a teacher, you need some guidance. Don't become a lone ranger. If anybody has a question and would like to learn more, I can post my website or you can
Yes,
share it
yes,
separately.
yes. I'll share the website. You can contact you for sure.
Right.
So, the classes like the pranic healing, there's pranic healing 1, pranic healing 2, the advanced classes, psychotherapies, there are for prosperity healing, and there's like many different modalities into the pranic healing teachings.
Mhm.
um would there all be mandatory to take it in person, or there's any online teachings for the pranic healings?
Some are offered online. That does happen occasionally. Generally, no. So,
Mhm.
level one is foundational pranic healing, which I teach. Level two is a more advanced. Level three is psychotherapy. Level four is crystals. Level five is pranic self defense. Then there are other, as you listed them, many other levels of complexity. We start at the beginning so that people understand the basics. Like you can't write an opera in German if you can't speak
Yeah.
German.
Yeah.
So learning the basics and then going up there, depending on what your area of interest is. And if people are interested in the spiritual path, there's a similar pathway that is specifically for spiritual work. So all of those things are available. They're all yes, you can anybody can contact me or one of the pranic healing centers and learn all about those classes, where to take them, and how to do that.
Amazing. And one of the things that it was really interesting for me when I start, in the pranic healing path and I started doing the meditations was that I found Master Cole. And Master Cole today teaches with, in Tony Robbins events for thousands of people. I believe that's what you mentioned when there's people out in stage doing for thousands and thousands of people. And if you have the opportunity, I mean, in my realm, right? I come from sales. I, learned so many things in America, and Donnie was probably one of the pioneers in the coaching life in all of this. And he is someone in the business realm that are showing the opening and the understanding of this incredible technology. And having Master Ko, one of the teachers, is spreading the word of Master Kapak Shui teachings. It's amazing. I think it brings credibility, just like as yourself as a scientist, bringing in knowledge and awareness that this is a tool. It's not something unexplainable. This was developed by engineers. There's a science behind. There is people of a lot of logical mind that are spreading this knowledge, and it is available to anyone,
It's
and we are
available.
here to share. This is available to anyone. You can contact the teacher, like Miss Jean here was my instructor, in the beginning of this path. And obviously there's infinite amount of knowledge to go forward. But can you share some of the results or some of the instant per se miracles that stabilizing energy have happened to some of your clients or people that you came across, and share some of your experiences in the healing modality?
Okay, I think we're running out of time, so I'll make this quick. My just to let you know that my teacher is Dr. Glenn Mendoza. He's
Glenn Mendoza.
neonatal. Yes, he is Master Glenn. He is a neonatologist in New York. So we have many
Amazing.
people who are MDs, PhDs, engineers who do this kind of work. So here's a couple of examples I've worked with from the healing perspective, people with spider bites, headaches, back pain, um, shingles, cancer, COPD. And during COVID times, we got together and did distant healing um, all over the world. Groups of healers would work distantly, and we healed hundreds of thousands of people.
Amazing.
Yeah. So it runs the gamut. There's many examples, too many to mention, but the many miracles where we just go, wow, this really works.
This really works. And you don't even have to be there. You can be anywhere.
Yes.
And it's a remote section. You can just receive and just be receptive of that stabilizing energy. And the miracles are going to start to unfold, and just like incredible things start happening.
So
It's
the way people do that is
remarkable.
they reach out to either you or me or another pranic healer. There are thousands of us, and just
Yes.
say you would like to learn about it and experience a healing session. Come to a meditation, go to an introductory workshop, meet other people. We there's a huge community of people who support each other. and find out for yourself if it's the kind of thing that supports you. And the last thing I want to share is very important that we keep in mind that pranic healing does not take the place of allopathic medicine. We work in
Absolutely.
conjunction with allopathic
Yes. It's
practitioners.
integrative.
Yes, it's
Absolutely.
totally
Yeah.
integrative. So we always say when a client comes to me, says they have pain, I say, have you been to the doctor? So we do not prescribe medication. We do not question doctors. We are totally separate. We work collaboratively, but not against them.
Absolutely.
Our work makes their treatments more effective.
Okay, so you were mentioning, Miss Jean, in the fact that it's integrative. It's not a substitute for any healing modalities, and it's interacting in the body in partnership with whatever that the person is treating, the cancer, the anxiety, the indigestion, the allergy. So continue elaborate on that for us, please.
So, so if a client comes to us, and I like to work in teams, we have many teams of healers. We work collaboratively often, not always, but it's frequently chosen to do it that way. We'll ask the client, we give them an intake form, and we need to know about their medical history, what medications they're taking, and the whole thing, everything that they want to share, because what we do actually does influence the physical and emotional body, the emotions,
Absolutely.
the mental health, all those things that we need to know what's going on, because everything we do is protocol driven. The protocols are based on the science of the energy. We don't just roll a dice and go, okay, let's try this. No, we have
Mhm.
just definite, scientifically proven protocols, which have been worked out many, many times and repeated successfully, and they have been validated, scientifically validated. So we follow those protocols. But the more we know about the client and what the background, medical background is, the better we can make decisions about which protocol to
We should
use,
apply. Yeah.
which to
Huh?
apply. But we never
Yes.
say to a, I would never say to a client, I don't think you should take that medicine. No, that never, never. I am not qualified to say that. I am not a doctor. So, um, chronic healers are not doctors, and we don't pretend to be. However, some doctors are chronic healers. And
Mhm.
that's very magical. And there's some
Yes.
wonderful examples of doctors who are using pranic healing in their practice, chiropractors using pranic healing. It's happening all over the world as people are becoming more and more aware.
Nurses. Yeah. Medical
Nurses,
facilitators. Yes.
yes, the power of this is totally amazing. Yes,
Yes.
lots of examples of that.
So, for us to start wrapping this incredible conversation, obviously we can talk about this for days, but in order to bring in some practical um, knowledge to the people and information and how they can have access to these, what would it be the top three reasons that you believe in your personal transformation that it would be valid for anyone, any common person to have in their lives? What would be the top three reasons why they should look into pranic healing as an alternative for or a support for any healing?
Well, if we want to be healthy, we want to be happy, and we want to help other people.
Yeah.
Chronic healing allows us to be happy, healthy, and to heal other people, either learning how to do the healing. And as you mentioned earlier, when this was developed by Master Choa Koksui, his intention was that there would be a healer in every family, but
Yes.
also by doing the meditations, and there are several versions of it, we are also blessing humanity, blessing the earth, and bringing more goodness to people around us, even to people we don't know. It's contagious, and
It
it's
is.
amazing what can happen.
Yeah. Yeah. So harmony, right? I think that's
Harmony.
one of the
That's
most
the key.
incredible things. It's harmony. You
That's
know,
the key.
it's it's beautiful. Miss Jean, it's amazing to have you as a master, as a teacher, and to sit in meditation with you, rather present, whether it's online. Now that you're transitioning to Virginia, we're definitely seeing each other online more often. But just keep on sharing your light. It's
Well,
an
thank
honor
you.
to have you here.
Thank you. I need to just clarify, I am not a master. I'm a kindergartner in this arena. I am just a beginner. I've only been doing this 7 years, but thank you for your beautifully kind words. I love working with you, Carla, and we will continue our collaboration for years to come, I am sure.
Awesome. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.